Welcome to the Voice Weekly Recap. My name is Sean.
And I'm Chris.
This week, another contestant sent home. This time, only a single contestant. And surprise, not surprised. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I have to quote. I'll put my mom in the podcast early this time.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay, Chris's mom.
Yay! She couldn't believe he made it this far. Let alone he made it to the finals.
Nicholas David is a wonder that cannot be stopped.
Until Cassidy Pope train wrecks him next week.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. I wish we could see like exact sales numbers for these people, because I would love to see how far apart they actually are. So we had a question last week about what Carson was talking about with the tallying of votes for the finale. So you sent me something. You want to explain it?
I did. I got on iTunes to buy Cassidy's one song from last week, and because I went to get on. What happened last week was I got on iTunes to buy it like I always do right after the show ends.
Right.
Because it counts from 9:55 to 10 a.m.
10 in the morning.
And I got on, and they didn't have the songs uploaded. So I waited an hour, and they didn't have the songs uploaded. So I said, okay, I'll get them tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow morning came, I woke up, went to work, and totally forgot.
Right.
So I came home.
Didn't get your vote counted. How dare you?
Right. I know.
You almost sent Cassidy home.
I know. I can't believe it. and on the voice thing came up on the main page for on the iTunes store for it, came up a long paragraph. I'm like, oh, this is it. What's this? So I started reading it, and it said
you're selling your soul to the devil, and your firstborn son is no, not those details.
No, it said I actually had to be a slave to Cassidy Pope, which that's fine with me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, hold on, I got to go buy her single.
So it said on there that the votes between the 9:55 block and the 10 a.m. block counted towards the top 10 for iTunes if it charted in top 10.
Right.
Anything after that time period when voting was closed goes to count towards the total votes for the finale.
There we go. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the question is how many sales did they get after the time frame? I know Cassidy has at least 5 from me. Getting
through from week to week is kind of like a sprint, and getting through for the finale is like a marathon.
Right.
It's a longevity thing.
Yeah, and my plan already was, because I didn't buy all the Cassidy songs right from the beginning, I have a couple I need to buy still. Perfect. They're all going to count towards her votes, and I get to increase my voting numbers.
There you go. So if one of these 3 people, Nicholas, Cassidy, or Terry, you really want to help them in the finale and you want your money to help them, go purchase their past songs, and that will count towards their vote in the finale right now. You don't have to wait till next week. I feel like I'm selling their music for them.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I do like these people.
Yeah, and they're all going to get record deals in the end anyway, so really...
Yes, they are. Someone said it, I think it was Nicholas, they were doing a behind-the-scenes thing with Carson on his show, Last Call, and he said, like, how much do you want to be the winner of The Voice? And Nicholas said, I feel like we've already all won. And I think he's right. They have.
Yeah, that was the very prophetic answer that nobody ever says to you while you're going live through this, like, oh, you have to be the winner. No, you don't.
We made it this far. We are probably all pretty set.
Yeah.
Look at us sitting in the top 10 of iTunes every single week.
Exactly.
Good place to be.
Right.
Except for one person didn't make it this week.
Who was that? I don't remember. Oh, that's right. It was Arian Foster from the Houston Texans. No, that's Nicholas. Sorry.
Monday night's show, each contestant gave a single performance. They cut it down to an hour. I actually thought most of the show, I thought that they were going to get 2 performances, and I was like, I wonder why they haven't mentioned that they're going to. And it's because it was just an hour-long show. But yeah. Trevin was up first, and he sang "Wind Beneath My Wings." I took a little nap.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with it. It was okay. It was good.
There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't like, wow.
Exactly. I think that's why it didn't chart.
Right. And next up was Nicholas David singing a very soulful "You Are So Beautiful," which I gotta say, also not my favorite. I like the way he's grown on me. I've said it several times, but I was like, come on. First half of this show is putting me to sleep. What are you doing, Team CeeLo?
Yeah, I felt the same way. I'm like, oh, yawn, gonna work on some, medical things, and yeah.
That's your life.
Mm-hmm.
And your girl Cassidy came out looking amazing. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I was like, woohoo!
She's never come out and I've been like, bleh. But most of the time I'm just like, she looks pretty. This week damn.
Wow.
Nice. And she sang another country song because I think Blake has found a real good connection with her with country music that she probably never knew existed before this competition.
Mm-hmm.
A song called "Stupid Boy" by Keith Urban, and don't care an iota about this song, but somehow I was like, that was a brilliant performance.
Yeah, it was amazing.
How does she do that?
She's got this talent that you can't teach somebody.
That's what it is. And that's why several weeks ago when Deborah got kicked out, I was like, okay, I'm totally convinced by Cassidy. She just has something that I don't know what it is.
And sometimes it's the intangibles that make it, and she's
kudos for not using the phrase "that X factor."
Wait, that was a reference?
They
never heard of that thing.
They were talking in code about American Idol on Tuesday night's results show. Christina was saying that other singing show or something.
Right.
And I was like, come on, guys, you can't say it or something? Maybe they can. I don't know.
Probably not, because it's on a different channel.
Yeah. So then after Cassidy closing the show was the Scottish rocker Terry McDermott, and he sang the song that a couple weeks ago I at least said off air. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the recap, but I really thought that Trevin should sing "Let It Be," and he never did, and Terry did, and damn.
Yeah, that was incredible.
So I'm going to call it right now. 2013, or I guess probably 2014, because it'll have to be after next year. 2014 Grammy Awards. Terry he's nominated for Best Rock Album. He sings a Beatles song with Paul McCartney on the 2014 Grammy Awards. I'm just going to put my money down right now.
I could see that happening.
I could totally see that happening. He's Scottish. I mean, he's already like from the home base, right?
Right. He's already like in.
Right.
That's perfect.
They probably know each other, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's just this little like 10 by 10 square they live in, right?
The GB is such a small little postage stamp of a country. Everyone knows each other. No one in Great Britain listens to this show, so we're fine, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, there was really no suspense in the results show. I'm pretty sure everyone knew what was going on once they saw that Trevin was the only one of the four to not reach to the iTunes top 10, and that seems to be all that's going to matter for these week to weeks, right?
Yeah, well, except for next week because it's the finale show.
I would imagine that all three are going to be on the top 10. It's just going to be a question of how many are exactly sold.
Yeah, and I'm going to put it out there now so it's on record so everybody has it. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing it coming out with Nicholas in third place, Terry in second, and Cassidy in first.
That's what I would imagine. I wouldn't see it any other way. I would be very surprised if Nicholas was anywhere other than last.
Yeah, especially because two is, and me and Sean mentioned this to each other a couple times, is that we were under the impression the whole way up to this, going into next week, that only two would get through.
Yes, I thought it was going to be knockout of two each week, including this week. It would knock it down to two, and then you just have a one-on-one battle. And that's not the way it is. It's a three-way battle.
Right, and my philosophy on this is that they knew probably pretty well that both the CeeLo's team could go home based on how the voting has been going on.
Okay.
because somebody there has to know what the totals are.
Oh, of course.
So you figure they looking at these totals every week going, Cassidy and Terry are so far up there and so far up there that the other two don't have a chance, so they wanted somebody from Team CeeLo to get through.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just going to be more fun to have more people in the finale. You reminded me before we recorded that the finale last year came down to one team member from each team, so it was a 4-way battle, and that was really fun and diverse to have that many people in the finale.
Yeah, plus it gives everybody a shot too, which is nice. It's not just like, because with two people, because sometimes these finale shows are like the show we shall not mention from Fox, that it's like an hour or 2 hours for two people singing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got so much fluff in the middle that you don't care as much.
And the American Idol finale specifically, they always, each year they've done this thing where they write a single song for the two contestants to sing, and they each sing it. And that just feels like space filler.
Yeah.
Like, give me some of that time back with more original content. Stop repeating each other.
Exactly. So I'm thinking maybe this will at least it will help make it work for next week too. I don't know how long the show's going to be. I didn't actually look because I was actually surprised it was only an hour this week.
I think the competition is going to be an hour. I'm not positive, but I think the results show might actually be longer because the Wikipedia article is telling me it's packed with guest performances. We've got Kelly Clarkson, The Killers, Bruno Mars, and Rihanna all performing their own songs. That's insane.
Yeah, that's gonna...
They want to give you something to watch. This week they had Michael Bublé and people from last year, Juliette Sims, Ray Lynn, and Chris Mann.
Yep.
By the way, you still loving Chris Mann, right? Right?
Oh, of course.
Boy, he was not my favorite, and he's still not.
I'll admit this too. I think I fell asleep during his song for a little while.
Every time they bring him out, they have to remind us that he was a former opera singer. And really, if he just sang for 10 seconds, you'd be like, oh, it sounds like he's sang opera.
Right.
We don't need you to tell us, Carson.
Yeah, and this one thing. Have you noticed that Carson's doing like the exact same intro for people practically every time with just a couple different words in it?
He's got a lot to do, man.
I know, but it seems like he's saying almost the same thing every time, and it seems like he's reading the same thing every time off a cue card.
Well, he is reading off. It's probably a teleprompter, but
probably.
It is. That is exactly what he's doing.
I'm like, come on, you can't mix it up just a little bit.
I love after performances when he gets to say something off the cuff, and it's always like that was awesome, brah.
Right. Oh, Carson, we love you, but you kill us sometimes.
All right. Well, I think that sums up this week. Next week is the finale, as we said. Yep. So join us back here for one last recap after it's all going down. And I'm pretty sure we're pretty firm on our prediction. I think Cassidy Pope has this one in the bag.
I cannot wait.
So make sure you check back next week. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you then.
See you next time, guys.